Talk about blueprint abbreviations, plumbing blueprint abbreviations. Blueprints require abbreviations just to save space on a blueprint, if nothing else. There are hundreds of short forms of abbreviations used in blueprints, and every trade has their own, just like electrical, carpentry, gas, etc. Here's some examples. A CO refers to a cleanout. A cleanout is a fitting in a drain line that's used for snaking out drains, clearing blockages, if you will, and for inspection, camera inspection. And camera inspections, they can find defaults, breaks in the pipe, separations, anything like that. DF stands for drinking fountain. DWV stands for drains, waste, and vents. CXC stands for copper by copper. BS is a building sewer, sometimes shown as just an S. BD is the building drain. BT is the bathtub. CW is cold water, which is sometimes just shown as a W. HW is the hot water. And HWH is hot water heater. Okay, so do you see a pattern? Quite often it is simply the first letters or the first and second letters that are used. Remember, on your blueprint there's usually a drawing to go with the abbreviation. So the two sometimes are together. So that's, sometimes it makes it easier to identify, but it's not always as it seems. PLG or PLMG are often used for plumbing blueprints. SHR or SHWR are used to identify shower. So you see they're not necessarily using the first letter or the first two, which would be S or SH. They go SHR, SHWR. WH represents water heater, but it also represents a wall hydrant. WM represents a washing machine. It also represents the water meter. So these are examples where you would have to have the abbreviation with the symbol, just to clarify exactly what it is the blueprint is dealing with. L or LGTH are often used for length. Okay, so let's take a look at this small condensed version of a blueprint, and it shows a couple of washrooms in it. So can you find and identify the lavatories? Lavatories are just your basic wall-hung sink that you would find in a public washroom, restaurant washroom, or any houses in Toronto. Throughout Toronto, they still have these. So we have two of them here. Here's one, the symbol and the abbreviation. Again, the symbol and the abbreviation. So we have two lavs. Can you see the WC? WCs stand for water closets, okay, which is a toilet. So how many toilets do we see here? Well, we have one here with this abbreviation WC. We have another one here with its abbreviation WC. So we have two toilets. And how about the urinal? Can you find a urinal? Well, we have a urinal up here. There's the symbol, and there's UR, the abbreviation for the urinal. What about the urinal drain size? Well, here it is. Here's a urinal drain, and this little note up here says 1.5 inch drain. How about cleanouts? Well, cleanouts we know are for accessing the drain for camera work and drain work. And we got a couple cleanouts right here. The building drain. Well, in this case, the building drain is represented by an S. Now, it looks like a 5 almost, but all along here you see all these S's. So that's representing the building drain. All the way out here, which is the main drain that carries away all the sewage from the washrooms. So here, it's indicated with an S. It even gives you the size of it, 4 inch. So there are also other sizes for this blueprinting. If we take a look, we can see the size of the vents: 2-inch vent, 1.5-inch vent. Here we have an 1.5-inch drain line right in here for both of the basins, both of the lavatories. 1.5-inch vent here. We have a 3-inch WC toilet drain with a 2-inch vent, and then again it gets into the size of the main drains being 4 inches each. Okay, so can you identify which of these washrooms is the men's washroom? We have 2 washrooms, right? We have one at the top, top right, and we have another washroom down here. Which is the men's washroom? So let's blow it up, take a look at things here. Again, we have 2 washrooms, this one here, which is this, and this one up here, which is this one down here. So take a look at these 2 washrooms. Can you identify the men's washroom from this alone? That's the men's washroom. The men's washroom is always the one with the urinal. So right there. So we know that this is the men's washroom and this is the women's washroom. Here's another piece of information you might find on a blueprint. A separate information box in the corner or an open area of a blueprint giving detailed instructions. Here they want a pipe sleeve installed for every vent terminal through a roof. Okay, so this box could have any information in it, right? And electrical blueprints, HVAC blueprints, plumbing blueprints, whatever the case is, they may or may not have a box like this, just giving little detailed specifications for something that needs to be dealt with. So here's another item you may find in a separate box within a blueprint, some kind of a mechanical note. I realize that this is hard to read, but it gives details to certain aspects of the work that has to be done. For our sake, if we just look down here, for instance, number 12, drain piping to be scheduled 40 PVC piping, DWV. It also shows us number 13, supply piping to be PEX. So we even talked about DWV earlier in the very first slide. It stands for drains, wastes, and vents. So here's another place you may see an abbreviation pop up. Okay, so here's a blueprint of an office and its plumbing. Notice there's no drain lines shown, so that would be on a separate blueprint. Notice here the cold water line is shown with the abbreviation W. Also, we can see it is 1/2 inch in size and 3/4 at the main supply. So here's our main supply coming in. It's labeled 3/4 inch cold water to the office. Comes in through here, stops there. So this is all 3/4 inch plumbing. And sorry, the 1/2 inch lines are shown here. Okay. And we have a 1/2 inch line here also. So if we notice here, the hot water line is shown with an HW. That's the abbreviation that's used on this blueprint. Do you see the cold water line feeding the hot water tank? So you would follow it in from the main, the 3/4 inch line. That's the cold water line feeding the hot water tank. And do you see the hot water tank? That's it right there. So this blueprint shows a staff washroom, which is right here. The door is here. The door opens up into the staff washroom. And it also shows a kitchen, kind of like a kitchen little cafeteria eating area for employees. Right there. Okay. So that's pretty much it for blueprint symbols and blueprint abbreviations. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.